Now we're going to jump to the main card of UFC 200.
You know what that means, right?
What's that mean?
In this Mr. Rousey?
This is
so
Mr.
we have a
Rousey.
Rousey on the card, a Rousey on the 200 card.
Travis Browne, Cain Velasquez kicks off UFC 200.
Hey, you guys are first match. Open up for us, guys.
First of all, Cain Velasquez is kicking off a pay-per-view card. All right, that's okay. He's the guy who he beat for the UFC heavyweight title originally is fighting in a higher spot than him.
Yep.
But we'll get to Brock Lesnar in a little bit.
Who?
You know, the beast, the jacked up white boy as he put himself.
Yeah, as he put himself.
And that media call a couple of weeks ago. And we'll talk about that as well when we get to that fight. Cain Velasquez, Travis Browne, heavyweight bout. This is an intriguing fight to me because of all of the heavyweights that we've seen come through the fight game, nobody's had more potential than Cain Velasquez when it comes to the sport of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
We've seen this guy over and over look like a world beater and a guy who can be one of the best heavyweights of all time. The problem is he's been hurt repeatedly over and over. And now what are we going to see out of this Cain Velasquez? He had the back injury. He's had more injuries than we can probably count at this point. And it looks like he's healthy from all indications.
But haven't we said that before? And then it gets into the fight and we find out that, he fought with a dislocated disc in his back or what, there's always, seems like after the fights you find out that he's fighting injured.
He's 13-2. Of course, he lost the title to Fabricio Verdum in Mexico City back in June of last year, where he did not look like Cardiac Cain whatsoever.
He
looked like the complete. he looked like a guy who would not adjust to that altitude very well. And previously, before that, remember, he was out for a year and a half. He defended his title against Junior Dos Santos. He'd beaten Bigfoot Silva. Of course, he won the title from Lesnar back in 2010. Wow, it's 6 years ago.
Well, that's what I thought when everybody was talking about Lesnar. I was like, it hasn't been that long since he's been gone. And I'm like, oh, man, okay. But anyway, back to Velasquez Browne, sorry.
The way this kind of looks like, on paper, it looks like striker grappler, right? You see Browne, who just slugs it out. And you see Cain, who's much more of an all-around complete fighter.
He is, but when you look at what threw me off right here, I'm looking at a percentage of wins and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't 85% KO TKO.
Yeah, Cain can slug it.
I was like, wait a minute, this might turn into a slobber knocker as well to start off the fight, to start off UFC 200. We may have two heavyweights in the ring just slugging it out.
Yeah, and I mean that's what they can hope for.
Yeah,
at least
I don't
for that.
think they're going to get that. But
remember, Travis Browne 18-3-1, and as much crap as we give Browne for, the Mr. Rousey stuff he hears all the time from every which way possible. The Matt Mitrione fight was an absolute travesty. Man, that was ugly to watch. The eye pokes, the refereeing that fight was bad.
Yeah.
It made Matt Mitrione think he was actually a good heavyweight. It was just all over the place.
It got him a good contract with another organization.
You see Mitrione's last fight in Bellator?
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah,
it was. But this is Browne in that fight against Arlovsky when they just kind of went for it. Like, Browne is a fun fighter to watch when he's on. And, he's beaten Josh Barnett. He's beaten Overeem. He's beaten these big names, but he hasn't been able to put it together in a big fight. And this is one of these opportunities. You're kicking off the 200 card. Heavyweight is an amorphous blob when rankings come out, and you don't know where these guys are going.
They just rolled dice, and, Vasquez came up this time. All right, put him up there.
So there's a legitimate chance here. If you win this fight, you could end up as the next challenger for the heavyweight title. It's because of just the way things can happen. And with Cain, I think this is his fight to lose. He's obviously got the advantage when it comes to the grappler. He takes people down left and right. He's an AKA product. He works with Cormier every day. This is if this is one of those fights that Velasquez is taking him down over and over. There's no question this fight's going to be over. He's the far superior grappler. He's got the advantage on the ground. He's got the submission advantage. He's got some great submission advantage defense. And I'm all describing these things that would make you believe that Travis Browne has no shot in this fight. He has a shot in this fight. It just relies on him being standing up to be able to win this fight. The stiffness that we've seen from Velasquez because of the injuries can change this fight. We don't know how he's going to be. Browne has to be able to find that opening and go for that flurry like he did against Arlovsky, to go for these punches and these strikes over and over again. How do you see a path to victory for Travis Browne here? Or am I off base and you think he's got the advantage here?
No, I don't think he has the advantage, but I am going with Travis Browne in this fight. I don't think he has the advantage to win, but I think he's got that puncher's chance, and I think he's due. And
you think?
I think he gets the first interview of UFC 200 to announce that he is Travis Browne and not Mr. Rousey.
See, and is that pick more because of who Travis Browne is, or more because of what Velasquez is at this point, and we don't know when it comes to injuries and all that? Do you believe in Travis Browne, or do you not believe in Cain Velasquez?
I think it's more I don't believe in Cain Velasquez, but at the same time, I think Travis Browne has shown glimpses to where you're like, I mean, when I was I looked at the record and I'm like, wait, 18? That's all. He's only lost 3. To me, I thought he lost more than that. Honestly,
it has that feeling, right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
see him
really 18-3, and I look back and you start looking back at some of the things, like you said, Overeem. You start looking at the glimpses have been there.
He's got that ability.
He just and I think
the frustrating thing in the world.
And I really think Velasquez, again, this is UFC 200. You're opening up the biggest pay-per-view. And I just think the juices are going to be flowing. They're going to come out, and I just think Browne's going to be able to take Velasquez out.
I've got Velasquez in this fight because I think hopefully he's finally healthy. I'm betting on Cain being able to show us some of that guy. Maybe he's a little motivated with Brock on the card. This is a major opportunity for him. It's kind of I don't want to say a slap in the face, but you got to have some motivation saying, like, I was one of the biggest heavyweight champs of the war, like in the world in the UFC, and I'm kicking off UFC 200. Like, what is this BS? Like you got to have a little bit of motivation. Cormier's on the card as well. He's gonna want to make sure like those guys are tight. I think everything kind of goes towards Velasquez in this fight. I think Browne's definitely got a shot, as you mentioned. It's just going to have to be in a stand-up. And I don't think Cain will 100%.
100% it's going to be in the stand-up. But see, I think that's where you're wrong, because Cain's going to have to – I think he feels – as you said, he feels slighted that he's opening this pay-per-view possibly, or he should, or at least I'm thinking that. So I think he's going to want to make a statement, which is why I think he's going to play into Travis Browne's hand.
All right. Well, we shall see.
I already used that once, didn't
I? We can use. I can use your language. You can use my language. It's all right. All right.